Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode on CodeMaster Quest. Today we are going to solve another interesting problem, the question of bulls and cows. So let's get started and find the question description on LeetCode. Here is the problem statement. You are playing the bulls and cows game with your friend and you write down a secret number and ask your friend to guess what the number is. When your friend makes a guess, you provide a hint with the following information. The number of bulls, which are digits in the guess that are in the correct position, and the number of cows, which are digits in the guess that are in your secret number but are located in the wrong position. Specifically, the non-bull digits in the guess that could be rearranged such that they became bulls. And given the secret number secret as an input and your friend guess, we should return the hint of your friend's guess. And the hint should be formatted as xa, yb, where x is the number of bulls and y is the number of cows. And you should note that both secret and guess may contain duplicate digits. So now look at the example number 1. If we get secret equal to 1, 8, 0, and 7, and guess equal to this number 7, 8, 1, and 0, we should return this input, 1 bull and 3 cows, which is, if you look at the secret and guess, 8 is in the right position, which is 1 here, and the rest is in the wrong position. So we should return 1A and 3B, right? So let's come back to the Visual Studio Code and try to solve this problem. Now let's figure out how we can solve this question. As a first step, we need to have the function signature. So let's say find get hint, then two parameter for this function, secret and guess. There should be a underscore here. So let's say string, and at the end we should return a string. Now since we want to traverse over the characters in these two input, we need to make an array of characters from this input. So let's say secret array from secret, and same thing for guess array equal to array from guess, and there we go. Now since we want to count the number of bulls and cows, let's define two variables to store the number of bulls and cows. So let's say bulls equal to 0 and cows equal to 0. And lastly, let's define a dictionary to count the number of characters in the secret in a dictionary. So let's say var secret frequency, which is going to be a dictionary, characters to integers, integer, and it's empty by default. And we want to split the solution for this question to two phases. At the first phase, we want to count the number of bulls, and in the second one, we want to count the number of cows. So let's say count the number of bulls at the beginning. So for this purpose, let me make a for loop for I and char in secret array enumerated, right? And if this character is equal to guess array at the same index, then there's a bulls, right? So let's say bulls increased by 1. Otherwise, we want to keep the number of characters in the secret dictionary. So let's say secret frequency for this character, and it's 0 by default, increased by 1. Right? So at the end of this for loop, we have the number of bulls. Now it's time to count the number of cows, right? So let's say count the number of cows. And this time we will make a for loop over the guess array. So let's say for I and character in guess array enumerated. And if this character, we should check that this character is not same as what we have in the secret index, because if it's the case, then there's a bulls, right? So let's say if char is not equal to secret array at this index, then we should check whether we have this character in the dictionary. So let's say let count equal to secret frequency for these characters, and if the count is greater than 0, then there's a count, right? So let's say cows increased by 1, and then we should decrease the number of this character in the dictionary by 1 as well. So let's say secret frequency for this character should be decreased by 1. And at the end, we should return the number of bulls and cows in the requested form. So let's copy this form and come back to the Visual Studio Code and say, return this one. This is the bulls, and this one is cows. So there we go. This should be the correct solution for this question. And as the last job, let's submit this solution to LeetCode. So let's make a copy of this one, change to the browser, paste it here, clean our code, let's submit it to LeetCode. There we go. Here's the solution for this question. Thank you, everyone.